Hello, my name is Michael McGlynn with Maxim Consulting Group, and I am here recording the video for our 2024 spring presentation for Electri International. And what we're proposing is a study called the EC of the Future, an Energy Optimization Expert. And basically, what this is a conversation around, all things kind of building energy management, systems integration. We'll get into the details here in a minute, but basically there's a number of causal factors that are happening that are shifting the traditional electrical equipment installation with interconnecting wire and piping and so forth, and shifting away from that with new technologies. And some of those causal factors are things like significant worldwide legislation around decarbonization. We've got new changes in the electrical codes like NFPA 70B requiring inspections of electrical equipment, which we'll get to that. There's social advocacy for net zero carbon facilities and reducing carbon footprints. And then we've also got a strong desire for building owners and facility operators to reduce their overall operating expense because it's a competitive world out there. And really, they just want to find a way to have cost containment. And when you look at the operating costs, particularly in the long-term life cycle of a building or facility, the energy consumption is, as you well know, a massive component of that. And so as the industry develops new technologies like digital electricity, the technology is changing. The energy consumption of those technologies looks very different, but the skills and expertise to install and integrate those systems also looks very different. And so what we're aiming to do in this study is really talk about what the pivot is for an electrical contractor to change their skill sets and move from a traditional electrical contractor to somebody who is more of a energy optimization expert. And so we think that includes everything from energy audits, retrofits, integration of new technologies, innovative building system designs, and then preventative maintenance services that would be ongoing recurring revenue for contractors. And so the other attractive piece of this conversation is that as the technology changes, the initial equipment cost right now is higher, the installation cost is lower, but it's also creating this opportunity for electricals to have what they've always wanted, which is really a long-term recurring revenue stream through service and maintenance agreements. And so we see this as that opportunity, and it is on the forefront here. I know a lot of our contractor clients, we work with a lot of ECs that have significant backlogs and don't necessarily see how quickly this technology is evolving, but it's coming. And we've got to be prepared as an industry and as electrical contractors, participatory to Electri and NECA, likewise, to adapt to these new technologies. And so we want to talk about what this market looks like. We want to provide an executive summary that talks about the nature of these changes, like I said, the causal factors that are driving these changes, and basically talk about what kind of opportunity that creates for our contractors. And then talk about what's going to happen in terms of scope of services, what's the size of the market look like, what's the segmentation of the market and services look like, and then how do we understand the critical skill sets for a contractor to get into this type of work. We work with many of the largest mechanical contractors in the country that are already doing this stuff and are well entrenched, so we have exposure to it from a very unique perspective and think we can bring that knowledge to bear. We also want to talk about all the battery plants that are going in and some of the EV charging stations and the electrification of everything. So we believe that this is a very important study for electrical contractors to get in front of and think about as they pivot their strategy from a traditional pipe and wire contractor to an energy optimization expert. So we look forward to hearing your feedback, and thank you so much for the opportunity.